Okay, boys and girls, here is a fall leaf project. And we're going to create some fall leaves, but in a different way, using some glue resist and some pastels to color in. To get started, we're going to take a look at several different types of leaves and drawing those. On my paper, the first thing we do is always the same. You flip your paper over and write your name. Now, sometimes we do this on black paper, sometimes we do it on white paper. Today I'm going to show you on black paper. I'm going to start out by thinking of looking up at the trees, through the branches, leaves falling down all around me, and I see the blue sky through the branches. That's my inspiration right now, and I'm going to draw at least 5 different leaves on my paper using my pencil. Now, as you're drawing, your pencil is still going to show up even if you're drawing on black paper. Doesn't matter if it's white paper. Either way, your pencil is going to show up and you'll be able to see your shapes. But it is important that you make sure your leaves are not super itsy bitsy tiny, because if they're too tiny, it will be really hard to do our next step. So, as you're drawing, keep your leaves at least about the size of your hand or bigger, with no really tiny details on them. So I'm drawing a poplar leaf, a willow leaf, an oak leaf. All of those are really popular leaves that you're probably seeing falling down in your backyard right now. Just be sure you're getting the simple lines with the veins as well as the stem and any of the details of the outer edge of the leaf. That's the part that is really important for this. Don't forget, you can also add some space to your artwork. That means it feels like your artwork is three-dimensional by having leaves that are going off of the edge of the paper or off of the corners like I'm doing right here. Just parts of the leaf I can't see anymore because they're no longer on the page, but it makes it feel like that leaf is falling onto the page, which is really cool and a great way to start adding some 3D to my space. So, I am finishing up my leaves now, and the last step after I finish up my leaves is make sure that everything fills up the page, there's no empty spaces, and that I'm happy with it. Once my leaves are done, I'm going to use a bottle glue. Now I'm actually using purple glue because it's just what I had on hand right now, but the white glue is going to look exactly the same after it dries. It all dries clear. So you're tracing over every single one of your pencil marks. This is why it's very important not to add super tiny details, because it's a lot harder to trace with glue when you make things far too detailed. So as you're tracing all of your lines, work from the top of the page down to the bottom, and it's better that way because it'll keep you from getting your hand in the glue as you add it to your lines. So work from the top of your page and all the way down. Try not to miss any of your pencil lines and trace every single one of your lines with your glue. Notice that I have 0 puddles, so no puddles are allowed today in glue. As you're tracing, you just want a nice thin line. If it starts to come out too quickly, just take your bottle and put the tip up and give it a minute to rest and then try again. If it starts to make puddles, that means there's big globs of glue everywhere, then something has gone wrong. So please stop and let me help you. Once you're completely done with your glue, then you have to completely let it dry, 100%. Here is my artwork. It's completely dry and ready for coloring, and we're going to use oil pastels to color in our leaves. Now, I do want you to practice some blending, and I want you to use warm colors on your leaves. When you're walking down the road, or when you're riding down the road, or if you're at the park or in your backyard and you're looking at trees, the colors that you're going to see a lot of are red, yellow, and orange. Those are warm colors. They're called warm because they make you feel like something would be hot, like the sun is hot. It's bright, and you would think of yellow, reds, and oranges, or fire. So we're going to use those warm colors. Also during the fall, you would see greens and browns also in the woods and in trees and leaves. So those are some colors that we're going to use on our leaves. Now, as you're coloring in, I don't want you to just use one color, like that would be so boring. So we're only going to color our leaves if you have at least two colors on them. That is using a variety of colors and making them much more dynamic, interesting to look at. So I have used orange and yellow on this one leaf. Make sure you're covering up the black of the paper. The glue lines are actually going to help you stay inside of each of the sections of your leaf, so it will keep you from covering up your leaf and making it where you can't see it anymore, which is a really cool part of this project. That's why we do the glue lines. Okay, so as I am blending colors together, I am actually just coloring one color and then on top of it with another, or next to it with another, and that will help the colors to blend together and overlap. That makes the leaves look very realistic. Now after I'm done coloring in my leaves with those warm colors, then make your background with some cool colors. I'm thinking some blue because I'm thinking of the sky as I'm looking through the leaves in a tree. So I'm using some blue, different blues, not just blue, but also blue and purple and a little bit of white mixed in and blended together to make a really awesome piece of artwork. And there it is, a beautiful masterpiece with some fall leaves and beautiful warm and cool colors. Can't wait to see what you create.